Hey y'all, welcome back.
It's Wednesday, so you know
We're winging it.
This week we're joined by our great friends Ron and Carol, full-time RVers who just celebrated 17 months on the road. They're going to share their story and some tips that they've learned coming up next. Okay, before we get started, let's quickly review the rules of Winging It. We set the timer on my phone since we're with friends for 15 minutes. We talk about the topic. When the timer goes off, we wrap things up. This is completely unedited, unscripted,
and you get what you get.
So, 15 minutes on the clock. We're winging it.
We're winging it. Well, first of all, people always want to know, what are y'all full-timing in?
We are in a 2015 Thor Challenger that we've had for 5 years now.
Is that a gas or a diesel?
It is a gas unit.
And how's it been working out for you so far?
Oh, we've loved it. It's like everything else, you have some minor problems here or there, but it's actually worked out real well for us. We've been real happy with it.
Do y'all pull a car or?
Yes, we pull a Kia that is a standard, so that we pull it on the ground without having to do anything but put it in neutral.
4 wheels down.
Yep.
What kind of towing system do y'all use?
We have a
Blue Ox.
Blue Ox.
Yeah, same as us. We love the Blue Ox.
Oh, we do too. And I've had to replace some, because when I got it, the connections for the cables were where when you hook it up, it's actually got a rubber grommet that holds it. I still got it on there, but it's technically illegal now, federally. So, but I've got the new stuff, and we've had it for a long. As a matter of fact, I bought this back in 2011.
Oh wow.
Okay. Yeah.
With our first rig, so it's been really good. We've been really happy.
So y'all RV'd before?
Yes, we bought our first rig in 2011.
And
Okay.
what was that? What did y'all have?
It was a
Thor Hurricane.
Thor Hurricane.
Okay. All right.
Okay,
And why did you decide to switch?
We bought the Hurricane knowing that it was a starter unit for us to see if we would really use it as much as we thought we would. We also encouraged our grown children to use it. And since everybody was using it, that one didn't quite meet all the needs that we had. And so we had it for almost 5 years when we upgraded.
Okay. All right. And now your unit now, you've got the washer and dryer and all of that. Is that part of why you chose it, or what was it about the one that you've got, the Challenger, that grabbed your attention?
Well, this one's larger
Okay.
than the other one was. And it does have the ability to have the washer dryer in it. It has some special amenities that we wanted just for aesthetics reasons.
It's got the fireplace.
Okay. Yep.
It's got the bathroom and a half, and it's got the drop down bed on it, and it's got several things that the other one didn't have, and that we didn't need.
Right.
But when we saw it, we wanted.
Well, and it's funny because we've got the fireplace, and initially that wasn't something that was on my list, and in fact I was like, I don't want that. I'd rather have storage, but I love my fireplace.
We had it on last night.
Well, the thing is when we were looking at this one, we asked our salesman, said, okay, it's a pretty fireplace, and he says, here, it'll blow. And we said, well, will it do any good heating? Will it actually heat the unit? And he said, no, not really. And we said, oh, okay, well, that's a shame. So I've got a couple of freestanding portable heaters that I use. But we turned that thing on one time, and it wasn't real cold, but it was cool in there. And the next thing we knew, it was like 82 degrees in there, and it works wonderfully.
Oh, it really does.
It really does.
So we've been happy with it.
When what led y'all to want to go full time?
Well, we've been talking about it since before we even bought it. We actually, back in the early 90s, borrowed her dad's Class C. And we went to Florida and spent 2 or 3 weeks with the kids, and then we went to We've been down here. We've stayed in Galveston a couple of times in that, and we fell in love with RVing back then.
Yeah.
You know, now it was almost 20 years before we, were in another one and had another one, but we'd been talking about it, and people at where I work, they'll tell you that I talked about the RVs all the time. and they said, you're one of the few people that have told us what you were going to do when you retired and have done it.
There you go.
So
there you go.
Another draw for it was we have 3 grandsons, and we like to take the boys for a week during the summer every single year, and traveling in the RV just makes it so much easier to do that.
Right.
And they love it. They have a ball.
Yeah.
They still talk about, you think they're not going to remember your vacation taken, but then, do you remember when we were in New Mexico and we're at Carlsbad Caverns?
That's awesome.
Stuff like that. And they've been bringing stuff like that, so it's made us feel real good because we know they're remembering the things.
Yeah,
You're building great memories that they're always
great
going to
memories.
have.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
we love getting the kids out and taking them and having a fun time.
Absolutely. Now y'all have chosen, a lot of people ask us, because everybody knows we sold our house, but there's a lot of folks that are thinking about doing the full-time RV thing, but they don't really want to get rid of the house. And y'all have chosen to keep your house. You still have it.
Right.
Yes.
So how is that working out for you?
It's worked out wonderfully. My son is actually leasing it from us, renting it from us. So we know how he takes care of things.
Yeah.
And that was my concern about it, because we probably would have sold it if he hadn't have taken it, because I would have worried about it all the time. But with him, I don't worry about it. He takes care of our mail and things like that and sends it to us. And it's just been real nice to have him in there taking care of it.
Now y'all are retired, right?
Yes.
Yes. I've been retired since 2009.
And Ronnie had a serious job. This one really is nice and relaxing for Ronnie.
Yes, it is.
So, he was a police officer, and we really appreciate his service back in the day. Thank you.
We have a lot of officers who watch the channel.
And it's amazing how many ex-officers and stuff do travel
Yes,
this way.
they do. Well, it's a way to break away and get some relaxing time.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And Carol had a phenomenal degree too. I mean, she was a teacher, principal,
Yes.
the whole gamut.
So we definitely appreciate everything that you guys did.
Well, thank you.
And it's been a real pleasure. We met them here at Jamaica Beach last year.
Absolutely.
And made the plans then to all come back, and they're part of our Galveston gang.
Yeah, they are part of our core strong friends.
Yes, and it's been wonderful. It's been a great friendship that we think will last for a long time.
Oh yeah.
And that's one of the things with RVing you meet people that you want to deal with and be with and continue to know for a long time.
And
The
that is one of
nicest,
our
most
favorite things.
helpful people
Yes. You're
Yeah.
right.
you meet when you're RVing.
You're absolutely right. And so there's some of the folks we keep in contact with all year, and
We
okay,
Zoom.
where are you?
We do
So
Zoom.
where are some of the places on y'all's bucket list that you've gotten to visit so far since you've been RVing?
Well, we've been back to Yellowstone, and this time we spent 2 or 3 weeks in Yellowstone
Yeah,
instead
isn't
of
that
just
nice?
a short period, and it just had a wonderful time. We spent some time in Montana and found some things that we really didn't expect, with the Little Bighorn and Custer's battleground. That was incredible. I'd never been to Minnesota and some places like that, and to be very honest, it's different than I ever thought it would be.
Yeah.
Iowa, I thought was this, piece of glass, with the whole state, and you go in there and there's trees and hills, and it's a completely different landscape in a lot of it. So
We found a great little town in Iowa, Dubois, Iowa.
no,
They
it's
have-
in Wyoming, Dubois, Wyoming.
Oh, okay, it was.
So many places.
Yes.
That had wooden sidewalks.
Mhm.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
wow.
Beautiful.
Just a quaint, incredible town.
Yes.
And just this scenic vista all the way around. Just
Unexpected.
incredible.
Well, like we like to say, the journey is the destination.
Yes,
That's
is.
exactly right.
It very much is.
And I think that's one of my favorite things about the lifestyle is since you are on the road, you come across things that you don't expect, that you
Right.
never in your wildest
Exactly.
imagination even could dream about being in a certain place. And then you have to stop and say, wait a minute, what is this?
What is this? Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
And you can then, if you're traveling either full time or an extended trip, you have the luxury to stop and take it in.
And that's,
You know?
that has been the wonderful part about it. It's just, there's I don't get in any hurry to get any place,
Yeah.
which is one thing I do suggest that people do, because you miss so much when you're going from point A to point B in a day.
Absolutely.
Take your time. If it takes you 4 days to go 500-600 miles, it takes you 4 days.
Love
and
it.
just relax and enjoy and see and meet. And it's really just been wonderful doing that now and having the time to do that.
I totally agree. And speaking of that, so a normal travel day for y'all, how far do you like to travel on your typical day?
About 4 hours.
Yep. Yep.
That way we're not exhausted when we get there.
Right.
We always love to tell people to get there before it gets dark.
Exactly.
Yes.
I hate getting to RV parks at night.
Yep.
Yeah, that's when mistakes happen.
Yeah.
And then when you get somewhere, do you have a certain period of time that you like to stay, or how do you kind of navigate that?
This is a different story, obviously, when you come here for several months. But on a
Yes.
typical jaunt, how long would you stay at a location?
Well, the pandemic's changed it.
Yeah,
We're
that's
staying
true.
places for 3 weeks, a month, longer now. Before that, it was probably 2 weeks.
Okay.
We may do a little bit longer, a little bit shorter, but 2 weeks was what we actually wanted to be, because that gave you, because it's amazing, you get there looking at, we want to see this, but it turns out completely different stuff that you get there
Isn't
and you
that
want to
true?
see and do. So we figure 2 weeks is a good time to start that.
And part of that is you don't want to go into some place and rush from site to site to site to
Mhm.
site,
Yeah.
because then you're exhausted.
Right.
We want to be able to go in, go see or do something that drew us to that area,
Uh-huh.
Right.
and then take a couple of days to just, because this is, after all, our home,
Right.
Yeah.
and we want to have home life
Right.
in between. That way we're just not worn out when we leave a place.
much.
Exactly.
How far do y'all plan in advance, typically?
I try to do about 3 months.
Yeah.
Sometimes I may not know where we're going in 2 weeks, but usually I try to keep us about 3 months out.
Yeah.
I hate to do much further than that. There's some things like coming back here, we had
Yes.
on the schedule since last year.
Right.
But it's a kind of a winter thing.
Right.
We don't want to be. Our philosophy now is stay away from the extremes.
There you go.
No real cold, no real hot.
There you
So we try to put ourselves someplace where we can. We were back home in September, the first September, and it was too hot.
Yeah.
It was in the 90s.
And home is
Home
the
is in
Dallas
the
area
Dallas
for
area.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was. I mean, that's not hot for Dallas, but
Right.
it was too hot for what we're used
Isn't
to.
that funny?
Uh-huh.
How your too hot or too cold changes.
We
as you
acclimated
travel.
really quickly to the moderate temperatures.
Yeah.
Yes.
We loved it in Wyoming and South Dakota when it was, in August when it was, 75 degrees.
Yeah.
Maybe it got hot to them when it got up to 80. But
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
but we try not to plan too far out, because things happen. We meet up people and we're talking about doing some other things, and we don't want to have to be tied down to something. So about 3 months is what I look at.
What has been, and this could be full-time or non-full-time, just RV life, what has been the most surprising thing that y'all have come across? It could be a location, it could be, just something unexpected. I threw him a curveball.
Yeah, you really did.
Yeah. I'm like, where did that come from? Carol, getting her having no words is unbelievable.
Yeah, it really is.
There's a lot of things that I see that's really unexpected, but it seems like, having not traveled a lot when I was young, and now seeing things new. I mean, we talk about it every day. We still, seeing a meat vending machine in southern Minnesota. I mean,
they bought
we
meat
bought
out
meat
of a
out of
vending
vending machines.
You could
Steve's
buy
Meat Market.
bacon, you could buy cheese curds, you could buy little snack sticks, all out of a vending
All out of
machine on the
vending machine.
sidewalk.
I have never heard of that.
And
in
We
my
hadn't
life.
not either.
We bought some little snack sticks so that we could say we had bought meat
Well,
from
you
a
had
vending
to.
machine.
You had to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I got a good question. I know you know the answer to it.
Uh-oh.
Is on a rainy day and you're stuck in the RV. My gosh, what can you do? What do y'all do?
I have an answer for that.
Okay.
It involves pool noodles.
Shocking.
I am a crafter by nature. And again, let me say, this is your home.
Right.
So you bring what part of home you can with you. And on a rainy day at home, I would be in my craft room making things. And on a rainy day or a sunny day or a windy day, whatever, I still continue to do the same things I did at home.
There you go.
Well, there's one
And-
other thing y'all do that we love.
And at night, what we tend to we play games.
A lot
Yeah.
of
A
games.
lot of board
we love
games.
playing board games. We've got card games that we really like, and we try to spread that out with our friends because
they
we
do.
get them all involved in it.
They have introduced us to so many great games,
Yeah.
and we have always loved games.
Yes.
And we gave away most of our games. In fact, our son has most of our games
Yes.
from back in the day. We only carried a few little things that didn't need a box for the most
Right.
part, so we
Uh-huh.
could condense them into little bags or
Yeah.
something. But when we met these folks, I could not believe how well prepared they were with all their games.
Yeah.
And then once we learned about Carol's craft addiction, is what I'm going to call it, her crafting
It is.
addiction.
It is.
I mean, you should see already their place for Christmas, and it's all stuff she's made for
Yeah.
the most part.
Unbelievable.
We asked Ron if he's got any storage left,
No,
I have one whole storage unit to myself for my crafting
and it's
materials.
spread into the rest of mine.
But that's
It
a
is a
great
pandemic
tip.
after all.
Yeah.
Whatever it is that you enjoy doing, most of the time you can bring it with you on the road.
Absolutely.
And I think that is something that a lot of people don't talk about that is a great tip.
Yeah.
So we
That's,
really appreciate y'all sharing that and sitting
Thank you.
down and with us and letting everybody get to know you a little bit. And these are, I mean, fantastic
If you
folks.
see them
So-
on the road, make sure you say hi. They're probably going to pull you in and have you play a board game.
Yep.
with them.
Probably.
That's right.
Yep, or we'll pull our cards out of our pockets.
Yeah.
Start playing cards there.
So thanks so much for joining us again, y'all. Keep on winging it. We'll see you on Sunday. Safe travels.
And happy camping.
Bye.
Bye.